update tonight. The woman who's accused of hitting and killing a man and his dog along Schrader Road last year appeared in Dane County Court Tuesday. Tambra Walker's bond was set at $300,000. Walker is also not allowed to operate a vehicle or have any contact with Stephen Fleck's family. Fleck died walking his dog near Schrader and Struck streets in February of 2023. Walker was arrested earlier this month in Peoria, Illinois. Madison police spent more than a year working to find Walker. Her next court appearance is scheduled for April 29th.